Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Devin Haney, Devin Haney is frustrated with his situation over at Top Rank. And, I kind of empathize with him, but it's hard for me with what I know about Bob Arum, Lomochenko, Eddie Hearn, and Devin Haney. It's hard for me to really get emotionally involved with what's going on with these guys because it's like they're creating their own misery. Now, if you aren't aware of what's going on with Devin Haney and Top Rank, right? Devin Haney, he wants to recognize the month of Ramadan because Devin Haney says he's a Muslim, right? And I don't think we have any right to question when Devin Haney and his dad say that the Muslims and they're practicing the religion of Islam. But there are a couple of things that get my attention, especially with me growing up with the background that I have and having family members who, I put it to you this way, I know enough about the religion and have been exposed to the religion long enough to know that there's certain things that aren't going to be accepted if you're saying that you're a Muslim, right? There's certain behaviors, certain ways you conduct yourself that's going to be frowned upon. But at the end of the day, there's only one. You're not held accountable by Bob Arum. You're not held accountable by boxing fans. There's no one walking around this earth who Devin Haney has an answer to for the way that he conducts himself. So he can do what the hell he wants, right? However, that's not quite how things work. Not with us human beings. We tend to form opinions, judge people. We create our own facts. And that's where Devin Haney, to me, is struggling a little bit. Now, let's jump right into why I'm talking about the religion. Why am I talking about Devin Haney and Top Rank? Why are we talking about Lomochenko? Why are we talking about Ramadan? Why are we talking about it seems like Devin Haney's not being taken serious? Well, let's go ahead and peel this back, right? The issue with Devin Haney and Top Rank, see, it all started back when Devin Haney was with Eddie Hearn over at Matchroom. Now, you see, Bob Arum, he's frugal as hell. Okay, Bob Arum does not want to pay the money a fighter deserves. Bob Arum stands on those principles. The old man's not going to deviate. So when Eddie Hearn was trying to make a fight between Devin Haney, Lomochenko, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, right? Devin Haney supposedly wanted around $5 million. Bob Arum laughed at that. He scoffed at that. Said, no way in the world does Devin Haney get anywhere near $5 million. Bob Arum was talking more about maybe 1.5. Devin Haney came back and said, look, if Top Rank doesn't want to put up the money, my promoter said he'll put up the money. So we can bridge the gap. Let me come over and get my shot. Because remember, Devin Haney wanted to fight Lomochenko. He wanted to fight everybody, but then Lomochenko went and he lost to Teofimo. And then Devin Haney wanted to fight Teofimo. If you guys also remember, there was a whole big set of BS with who was if Teofimo was really an undisputed champ. And Devin Haney had, a version of the WBC belt. It was it was just all messed up because these sanctioning bodies just have too many damn belts. There's even a pearl belt out there, if you guys didn't know that. Amir Khan at one time had something called the pearl belt. But that's a whole nother conversation. So what the concern was with Devin Haney, a lot of these boxing pundits felt like for Devin Haney to be put and fight an eliminator to go and now fight a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who at the time had the belts. They felt that it didn't make sense for Devin Haney to put himself in a tough title elimination fight when Teofimo Lopez, who was recognized as a franchise champ, didn't have to fight Devin Haney. So that created some problems for Devin Haney to where it was like, damn, I won't get my shot at this undisputed distinction at 135 because no matter what I do, no matter what position I get placed in, whoever has the franchise belt, they don't have to fight me. And that frustrated Devin Haney. So he didn't speak highly of Bob Arum. So fast forward, Eddie Hearn can't get Devin Haney to fights, can't get him the big fights he wants. Eddie Hearn went on record and said he tried to do his best, but he wasn't able to do it. An opportunity came along for Devin Haney to go and fight Kambosos. Remember, Kambosos came, shocked the world. He beat Teofimo. Teofimo said he was, had an issue with his heart and breathing. He should have died in the ring. Doctors don't know how he survived with whatever medical issue he was dealing with. It was a miracle, right, that he survived. So Bob Arum and the top ring come along. Devin Haney, Eddie Hearn decides to let Devin Haney go over there, sign with Top Rank, multiple fight deal, gets a shot at the undisputed distinction against Kambosos. And although Eddie Hearn didn't agree with the deal because they felt that Devin Haney was not being treated fairly, he let him go. Devin Haney took the short end of the stick, went out there to Australia on 2 different occasions, handled business. Now, understand this. When Devin Haney was leaving Matchroom to go over for the opportunity to fight Kambosos and sign with Top Rank, he knew he was getting screwed in the deal. He knew he wasn't being given the deal he deserved. They weren't being fair to him. Now, remember, that's the first taste in his mouth, is that this guy Bob Arum and Top Rank, they're not treating me fairly. Now, that's a fact. These aren't my words. So you look at what happens, right? Now, with Devin Haney, have y'all ever seen Bob Arum hug Devin Haney? Have y'all ever seen Bob Arum rush to Devin Haney and grab him by the wrist and take his other arm and put it on his shoulder and hug him and give him a kiss on the cheek? Have you ever heard Bob Arum talk about how he loves Devin Haney and he loves his father and these guys are my friends and we spend time together? Have you ever heard Bob Arum? Have you ever seen Bob? Have you ever heard him speak with that kind of affection about Devin Haney? Have you ever seen Bob Arum show that kind of affection and adoration towards Devin Haney and his dad? Same way, like in these pictures, he is with Lomochenko. Now, something else. Bob Arum has gone on record and talked about how Lomochenko was his friend. Usyk, the Ukrainians. But in particular, Lomochenko is his friend. Now, remember, Devin Haney comes over to Top Rank. They set that man up to fail. Fight in Australia. Now, Lou DiBella's involved some too, but their hands are tied. High risk, high reward situation. We'll take it. So they put him out there. Kambosos in Australia, he beats him. Rematch, same thing. Didn't, money-wise was better than the rematch, but still not what he really deserved. But it is what it is. Beats him again in Australia. So now, look at the position he's in. He's the undisputed champion. But Bob Arum went on record, and this is what he said. Because see, Devin Haney, he wants to fight Lomochenko, but he also would like to do some other things. But this is where we're going to get back into the Ramadan issue. But pay attention to this, right? Now, this is something that I copy and pasted, but what Bob Arum said. It's right here in the picture in front of you. It's highlighted in yellow with the blue words, with the red font right there in the middle. Bob Arum announced that he wanted to produce a matchup between Haney and Loma. Now, check this out. To give an opportunity to his fighter, really his friend, to get back his lightweight titles. Now, I'll tell you what, right? See, words matter. Now, there are a couple of you guys who are watching this who are nothing but trolls and who are going to look at that and say, well, Bob Arum didn't say anything wrong. I'm telling you, it's my opinion. Depending on your experience levels, reading that, you're going to interpret it a little bit differently than someone else. But when I know the person who I'm looking to do business with, who is promoting me, and I'm hoping they're going to be looking out for my career and my future, right? When I know that person and I have a business relationship, and that person and the guy who he's looking to stage a fight against is the person's friend, who is the promoter going to look after? The guy he has the business relationship with, or his friend that he wants to give an opportunity to get his lightweight titles? Because remember, from 2018 to 2020, Lomochenko was on a terror. This man had unified WBA Super, WBC, WBO, and the Ring Magazine lightweight titles. He put the work in. And we all know what happened after that. Teofimo, Cambosos, now Haney. Okay? So now that you have that understanding, right? And I've kind of set the tone, just knowing how Bob Arum and Haney's relationship was before Haney came over there, how he felt like they weren't really trying to give him the fights. Eddie Hearn couldn't make the big fights happen. Camboso shocks the world. Him and Haney agree to fight. Haney gets screwed in the deal. 2 fights in Australia, wins them both. Now he wants to fight Lomochenko. Bob Arum trying to make the fight to get the title get the titles back to his friend. And now look at the time frame where Bob Arum's trying to make the fight for Devin Haney, who definitely, man, has gone on record and says that he's a Muslim. So now they're concerned with Ramadan, and they're at odds with Top Rank over the Lomachenko fight date. Because the fight date's, it's going to happen. But this is the problem, man. Haney doesn't want to fight that guy. He doesn't want to fight him, man, before the start, after. He doesn't want to fight him after the Ramadan holiday. He prefer to fight him before. That way he can go into the Ramadan holiday fasting, and at the end of the fast, we feast, right? But check this out. Bob Arum isn't budging. There's a whole lot of friction between Haney and Bob Arum. Now, for those of you who are saying, right, well, what's the big deal? If Devin Haney he's the undisputed champion, right? Why in the world wouldn't Bob Arum accommodate Devin Haney and just say, you know what, let's make the fight early March, because we know Ramadan starts towards the end of March 22nd, and it should end around April 21st. Why not just accommodate Haney and do the fight early March? He's the big man in the division. Why are we sitting here not at least allowing him to be treated like the A side. Well, this is where, and this is my opinion. I didn't hear Bob Arum say this, but I'm going to tell you, you want Bob Arum to respect you as a Muslim, right? And to come now and respect your belief in faith and how you want to fight before the holy month of Ramadan. As a Muslim, you want him to respect you and your beliefs and what you want to do. But then you get out here on social media, and like I said, we can't judge him, but you can't get out here on social media and all the excessive profanity and the N-words and threatening people and going back and forth. Like, Bob Arum has a reputation for not really knowing or doing a great job with marketing. Look, man, I'm just going to say it like it is, to a black audience. Okay, they try to say the urban appeal. Look, man has a bad track record with, really building, black fighters into megastars. Okay? Right? That's what they say. All right? So when Bob Arum is seeing all the crap that's going on out there on social media, his team is seeing all the crap out there. They may not say this to Devin Haney, but I'm going to tell you from experience, man. Man, people talk about that shit. People talk about, like right now, someone's watching this and they're sitting there saying something about me and the fact that I'm doing this video. But there are a lot of people, especially like Bob Arum and his team, and not just him, other people in key decision-making positions, they have an opinion about things. They may never tell that person who they have to deal with, but they'll judge you. They'll judge you, and they'll find ways to bring your ass down. Now, I'm not saying Bob Arum is being nefarious towards him, but I'm just saying he's got a friend. He wants to get the titles back to his friend. He's got this guy who he brought on to get a good deal out of him. Now, before this guy ends his deal with him, he wants to make sure he does what he can to keep those titles under the top-ranked banner. And this guy is talking about giving himself an advantage by fighting before the holy month of Ramadan. And this guy, Bob Arum, is looking, saying, this guy claiming to be a Muslim, but look at how he's conducting himself. Now, Bob Arum did not say that, but I know for a fact these kind of conversations take place. And you look at the fact that he's not budging. So for those of you who are saying, well, why is it a big deal if Haney, if he just goes ahead and fights after Ramadan? Like, what's the problem? Why is it that he'd rather fight before March 22nd? Why can't he wait till after April 21st, after Ramadan? Look, this is why, okay? They want him to fight Lomochenko in May. Bob Arum knows exactly what he's doing. You want Devin Haney to fast, right? Because I believe he's going to fast, right? He's still young. He's still growing into trying to live a life of Islam and as a Muslim, right? You could tell he's still trying to figure things out. But at the same time, if the man wants to take the time to pray and everything, he's letting you know, look, shit, March, before Ramadan, I'll be ready. Let's make the fight. Bob Arum's like, no, it'll be in May. Like, to me, Lomochenko's not, what is Lomochenko doing? And he's not the champion anyway. So why are we creating a convenience for Lomochenko and not Devin Haney? And to me, it's not even a convenience for Devin Haney. Timeline-wise, I mean, they don't need 6 months to build this up into a super fight. I mean, shit, this isn't Spence versus Crawford. This isn't Wilder versus AJ. So it's really unfortunate that they want this man to fast and then feast, right, at the end of April than to turn around with less than probably 30 days and fight somewhere in May, and not even the end of May. So how is he going to be able to finish and to train and get ready for a fight in May, coming out of fasting and then feasting? You can't have an effective training camp with less than a month to get ready for a fight. And you already know that Devin Haney, his issues with weight. Now that's on Devin Haney and his father, right? They choose to be weight bullies. Okay? It is what it is. That's something that they've chosen to do. And, you know, I just have a way that I feel about that. If you want to sit there and kill yourself to get down to a weight, to give yourself an advantage, I mean, that's on you. You know, I came across something that I was reading, and it kind of made sense to me because it was talking about how it's been clear for a while that Haney is a weight bully. And what they were saying is even with his size advantage, he's got zero knockout power. They said in addition to that, Haney's chin is questionable. So they said, imagine what would happen if he got clocked by someone who rehydrates the same as him. Anyone who says weight bullying isn't a thing is just effing stupid. It absolutely is a thing. Fighters cut excessive weight and hydrate loads in the ring because it benefits them. Why else would they do it? Yes, there becomes a point where a fighter can no longer excessively cut and rehydrate as they will be drained, but they obviously do it for this reason. They do it for as long as they see the benefits of size advantage, and size advantage is a huge advantage and can negate skill advantage if there isn't a sizable skill gap. Size advantage can have different effects such as increased punching power, increased punch resistance, and the fighter having more strength to impose their strategy. Weight bullying is exploiting loopholes, but it is basically cheating. Unfair, good way for promoters to overhype a fighter into making them out to be something they're not. Now, I don't think all of that applies to Haney, but you get the point of what this person was saying. So again, that's Devin Haney's choice and his father's choice to sit there and kill themselves to get to 135 to give themselves an advantage when they come in the ring. But for Devin Haney and Bob Arum, knowing especially how Devin Haney looked that second fight with Kambosos, let me tell you, they can talk about the nutritionist. They can talk about making that weight was easy. Let me tell you right now, it wasn't easy for them to make that weight. Not looking like that. He looked haggard. Devin Haney looked sick. It's not easy to make that weight. And I'm telling you right now, Devin Haney, this man is not looking forward to trying to come out of Ramadan and to go and within 30 days and fight. Like, that promoter is not, Bob Arum is not looking out for his best interests. And it's just really, really unfair, in my opinion. Now, if he would have agreed to fight in May, well, that's different. Now, I'm not aware of Devin Haney agreeing to fight in May. I'm not aware of him agreeing to that date and then now retracting on his agreement and saying, you know what, actually, I like to recognize the month of Ramadan. Hey, can we kind of change what we agreed to? See, I'm not aware that happened. My understanding is he wanted from March to April pretty much to recognize Ramadan, and then after that to look to get to fight before that, and the month of March and April to just basically relax, the fight's over, and enjoy himself. But that's not it. That's not what's going to happen. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't heard a good explanation from Bob Arum on why he won't try to accommodate Devin Haney, who's the champion. It's crazy, man. Crazy. But at the same time, Devin Haney whatever he decides to do, this is where Devin Haney kind of hurting himself a little bit too. Sometimes I think these guys need to stay off social media because Devin Haney, with all the issues he has going on over at Top Rank, the fact that he's got a promoter that's trying to give his opponent an opportunity to get all the titles back, which is what Bob Arum wants. Again, you ever seen Bob Arum hug Devin Haney? And you never will see him hug Devin Haney. You ever see Bob Arum sing a song like he does with Tyson Fury? You'll never see him do it with Devin Haney. It's just not going to happen. It looks to me like Bob Arum just tolerates Devin Haney. And it is what it is. But when Devin Haney's getting on the internet and talking about how he's kicking, or he has kicked fighters out of camp because they weren't giving him the work that he needed, in particular, talking about Hector Luis Garcia, who's going to be fighting Tank Davis on January 7th. Look, my thing is this. If Devin Haney went to use the unbeaten Hector Garcia as a sparring partner before one of his fights, my understanding was Jojo Diaz, right? But if he was forced to kick him out of camp because supposedly the Dominican couldn't keep up with him, right? Let's say Hector Garcia didn't go 100% because it's sparring and you're not there to, you're there to make the, whoever your champion is, or whoever you've been hired to spar with, to make them better. But we all know sometimes that talented fighters, they don't go all out when they're hired as sparring partners, especially for well-known guys, because if they give it 100%, they may get booted from the camp for hurting the champion or hurting the superstar boxer. So to me, Devin Haney coming out and kind of saying Hector Luis Garcia was a tune-up, let me tell you something. As a tune-up for Tank and how he's nothing, I'll tell you what, Hector Luis Garcia will whip Jojo Diaz's ass. Hector Luis Garcia will beat, what's that guy, man, who fought Devin Haney and almost knocked him out? Linares. So Devin Haney, to me, he just needs to watch what he's saying because he's worried about what the hell everybody else is doing. Well, really, he needs to be worrying about that damn promoter, Bob Arum. And at the end of the day, Devin Haney can do what he wants. He can say what he wants. But he's got, if you want people to take you serious, you got to conduct yourself in a way to where they'll receive you as a guy who's all about his business and a consummate professional. And Devin Haney, in my opinion, has been more missed than hit. And I would like to see that young man pull it all together. Because Devin Haney, I don't like hearing people speak so negatively about him, talking about, he's not talented and he's not a good fighter. Look, man, Devin Haney, yo, that's just being unfair, man. Devin Haney is a damn special fighter. Damn special fighter. Okay? So give him his credit. He got some work to do on social media and the way he talks and carries on. Then turning around on some of the same posts and saying, Allahu Akbar and different things. And, it doesn't fit. Those two things don't fit together. Excessive profanity, using the N-word, and then coming out there and talking religion. It just doesn't fit. Okay? And there's something else for y'all to really pay attention to before I end this video. Pay attention. Because I think Devin Haney gets through Lomochenko no problem. Paulie Malignaggi, he doesn't think Devin Haney can beat Lomachenko, but we already know Paulie Malignaggi has a little sauce in him. So he's not going to say anything positive about Devin Haney anyway. We just got to be fair. Yeah, he's got some things where he needs to make some refinements, but as far as boxing, give him his credit. Devin Haney can bang. Lomachenko's on the downside. I'm not saying Lomachenko doesn't have a chance to win, but I'm just saying he's on the downside. And I think Devin Haney's going to beat him pretty easily. But this is where you're going to have a problem. Bob Arum wants to keep those belts over there at Top Rank. Look at the strategic move that just happened. Bob Arum playing chess. He's got Haney over there. He's got Lomachenko. Bob Arum knows there's a chance Lomachenko loses because he was like, hey, It could be some gamesmanship on Bob's side. Not sure if Lomachenko's ready. Look at the chess. Look at the play he made. Bob playing chess. Boom, move Shakur Stevenson from 130 to 135 now. A strategic move, a preemptive move to get Shakur in place to attack Haney if Lomachenko was to lose. Pay attention to what Bob Arum is doing, people. Devin Haney's in a horrible, horrible position. I hope Devin Haney makes all the money he possibly can before he leaves Top Rank. But Devin Haney, to me, shouldn't stay with Top Rank any longer than he has to. Beat Lomachenko. If he can get the hell out of there, get out of there. But what I think is going to happen, because Bob Arum's already said it, he said how great it would be to have Devin Haney fight Kambosos, fight Lomachenko, and fight Shakur Stevenson all in 1 year. Well, we know he already got through Kambosos. So now you got, and Teofimo is at 140. So now you got him fighting Lomachenko and then looking to get him in there with Shakur. But what'll happen is Devin Haney, we already know he's looking to move up. He doesn't have, I'm surprised he's even fighting this shit at 135. Like, Devin Haney needs to move up. So to me, going into that fight, Lomachenko has all the advantages, not talent-wise, because I still think Devin Haney has got, at this point in time, he has everything he needs to beat Lomachenko, but you just never know when that weight cut and that drain and that sauna with towels and that damn hot bath and that goddamn those whatever he's taking to release more water. I just did a video on this. Whatever he's putting himself, torturing himself through to cut that last little bit of weight, right? You never know when the effects of that are going to really show up in a Devin Haney performance. And I personally think it could show up in his next fight, especially with the stressing that he's doing. Also, with that weight cut, that should affect your ability to sleep, rest, everything. So if he doesn't get a peace of mind going into this fight and he's in training camp with stuff on his mind he shouldn't have to worry about, then he has that weight cut. That's all of that can affect his sleep and rest, and then he goes into the fight drained, stressed out, not where he needs to be, peaking and being ready to get in there and put forth an outstanding performance. And Lomachenko has the advantage, and he can give Bob Arum has to take a lot of credit for setting all those roadblocks in place to try to give Lomachenko the advantage, which will result in Devin Haney losing the undisputed distinction he has at 135. And I just don't think that's right. Now, you can leave in the comments below your opinion, but I'm telling you right now, Bob Arum even said that Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. And I believe right now, Devin Haney feels that the wrong promoter for him was Bob Arum, and he's not happy. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, people from all 7 continents, and I'm in the breeze.